Welcome back
to another week
and another episode.
One of the scariest parts of our journey when taking on the new job, the new passion, was definitely being beginners again.
Even the podcast.
Actually, yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Starting from like ground zero is super scary sometimes, especially because we're older now. I feel like when you're younger and you're a child, like you have so much more confidence because everyone around you probably hasn't done that, or they're all beginners. But having to start over as an adult that can be very scary.
Yeah.
And I can imagine in a like greater context if you switching jobs and having to start in like a junior position rather than a senior position you used to, it's just as scary.
Yeah.
Having to start all over again. So we thought we would just like share our journey in that, share some wisdom we've learned.
Being a beginner again,
it shouldn't be scary. It's shows so much, first of all, bravery, but passion for whatever you're going into. It shows a lot of courage that you're really trying. I think there's so much beauty in it.
Being a beginner again is such an exciting phase. Like, it's such an exciting new space to like jump into. It really could be anything. Being a beginner again could be in any stage, aspect, whatever of your life. Running, career-wise, creativity, starting to paint for the first time. A big one for me is learning to cook, right? And I've been cooking for years, and then I stopped for a very long time, and now I started again. But still, I refuse to cook for people. I only cook for myself. Why? Because it's scary, it's embarrassing if I get it wrong, because I am technically a beginner, and it's the first time that I'm trying new things and new flavors and cooking new things. And it's scary, but it's not supposed to be embarrassing.
No.
I think it's cute. I think it's adorable. I think as humans, the fact that we try new things and try to grow and try figure out new parts of who we are and what makes us happy, that is adorable. That is so cute.
And I think you had that like spot on. Is it is scary, but it shouldn't be embarrassing.
Yes.
I think saying it won't be scary is very unrealistic. It's going to be super scary.
Yeah.
And most of the time it might feel uncomfortable and, not feel lekker.
It doesn't feel safe. That's the issue. It doesn't feel safe. It's something new. It's the unknown. It's something that you're not used to. So yes, being a beginner again is going to feel unsafe. It's going to feel embarrassing. We should take the factor of embarrassment out of the equation because it doesn't add any value.
No. If you just take a moment and think about it, when was the last time you felt like a beginner? You felt like you had to start from ground level, from the very, very start of a skill.
When was the last time that you felt really bad at something? I recently went to play paddle, right? Anyone who knows me or knows me well enough that they've asked me to go play paddle with them knows that I don't play paddle. Okay, about a year ago, I played paddle for the first time, right? And I think this is a interesting and relatable topic because I think we've all played paddle or tried to play paddle at some point in time. It's really embarrassing the first time. Or maybe you're really good at any type of ball sports. I am not. I'm horrible, okay? But I went to play for the first time and we played singles. I was absolutely horrendous, okay? It's the first time I've tried this sport. It's the first time that I've done this thing. It's a small court. It's bigger than a squash court, but it's smaller than a tennis court. I can't play tennis to save my life, but I can play squash. That doesn't help me
in paddle.
It makes it worse, right? Because now I don't listen to the rules because they're completely different, okay? The person that I played paddle with actually said that they'll never play paddle with me ever again because I am obviously horrible and terrible and they are not going to put themselves through that again. I completely get that, okay? I understand it's annoying. I would
say rude, but anyway.
I completely understand, though. I understand if you don't have patience with people who are bad at things, okay? I'm not saying you should do that, but I understand it. Then recently, I tried playing paddle again.
Yeah.
Once again, singles, okay? But with someone different, okay? This person had so much patience with me. This person loved teaching me how to play paddle. And it was so much fun. Firstly, because the pressure wasn't there. And secondly, because I was just having fun. Like, it was just having fun. And the other person was trying to help me get better, but in a
sweet way.
In a sweet way, exactly. And I think it's okay to feel stupid in those situations. I think it's okay to feel stupid as a beginner. I think it's okay to feel like scared to try something new. But there's so much joy that comes out of it, not because you're good at it, but just because it's fun. Firstly, we should let go of the idea that I have to be good at something for it to be fun.
Yeah.
That's not true. I love painting, for example. I'm absolutely horrible at it, but it's so much fun and it's great for my brain. So I don't have to show people, but I can paint. Like I can paint in private because it's fun for me. I don't have to show the world.
Yeah.
You don't have to be good at something to enjoy it. Being a beginner is scary, but it's not supposed to stop you from doing it.
I think where we get confused with this is society wants to portray this image of you should know everything. When you step into something, you should be an expert at it.
Yeah.
Which that's not the honest truth. So many people, I mean, that's the story of an entrepreneur's life. Step into a space where they know very little about. They're willing to either do the work to find out, so do the research, work super hard to get to know every part of the industry that they need to know about, and then also ask the questions that are important. I think that's just a big thing that I'm now passionate about. We spoke about this in other episodes as well, but you should be able to ask the questions. Ask the questions, take up the space, and take the time to learn, because I think there's nothing wrong with asking as many questions as you want, especially when you're in a beginning stage.
Yes.
But circling back, society wants to tell us that's embarrassing. Like you should know everything. When you walk into that room, fake it till you make it, and you should know every single thing. But the truth is we don't. And I think there's so much, it leaves so much space for creativity, so much space for growth. Yeah, it's so beautiful to be in that season.
The beauty of it is a beginner is going to ask questions. A beginner is going to be curious and be excited and want to know everything and want to know every detail. And the beauty of it is a beginner brings creativity into the mix because they have a fresh perspective, they have a fresh mindset, and maybe have points that you haven't taken into consideration yet on how to make the process better or implement it better or whatever it may be, because I think we get so stuck in certain processes or ways of doing things that we never think about a new way or a better way of doing it. And so I think a beginner adds so much value, not only in terms of a fresh perspective, but also in terms of just questioning the ways that things have been done in the past. Experts, on the other hand, don't ask questions. Experts obviously know everything. So why are they going to ask questions? They get stuck in the mindset of, I've figured this thing out, this is how it works, and
that's it.
That's what it is at the end of the day. There's nothing I can add, like we can add to make it better. Firstly, we need to stop being scared to ask questions and be beginners, because you add so much value as a beginner. But also we need to give beginners the space to grow.
I agree with you.
And we should help them and we should teach them. And I think you have the power, if you are the experts, to break that beginner down or build them up. And if I think about it, let's talk about the paddle example, which is obviously stupid example, but whatever. The first person who I played with who said they would never play paddle with me ever again. Broke me down to an extent, and then every person that asked me to go play paddle after that, I said no, sorry,
I can't play
paddle. And I, like, every time I would say it, the person that I've played paddle with literally said they're never going to play paddle with me ever again, so I'm not going to play paddle with you because I know I'm just going to annoy you. So why would I do that? The second person pushed me to play paddle because I was like, there's no way. And he kept pushing me until I played with him. And he was so kind and lovely about it that I would play paddle again. Obviously with a very specific type of person, but still, I would play paddle again as a beginner who was scared of trying again because I was broke down the first time. And it's a stupid example and it's something very small, but I think the concept is what I'm trying to explain. Of we have the power to break someone down or build someone up. Also, if someone breaks you down, who says you have to listen to that person? Like, it is obviously, it's like a hard blow.
Yeah.
I'm trying something new and someone was really mean to me about how shit I am about it or shit I am at it. I get that, okay? But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try again. That doesn't mean we shouldn't start over, try again, try something new, try a different approach. it is possible. Don't run away because you failed the first time. I mean, failure is part of trying. Failure is part of being a beginner.
The important thing to remember is there's two aspects to this. What I'm about to say is every expert was a beginner. Okay. But just because you're willing to step into the beginner's phase doesn't mean you will become an expert. You might be halfway through and realize, actually, this really isn't for me. And actually, I'm really not meant to be in this space. And then you're going to anyway have to go back and be a beginner again.
With something completely different, yeah.
But you would never know if you had the potential of becoming an expert if you didn't start the beginning phase.
Yeah.
So if you didn't take that leap, you would never know. And again, we're very passionate about not having regrets in our life and taking every opportunity to get. Rather do that boldly with confidence than never know.
No, definitely. And I think a very good point in that sense, I recently experienced that in a very interesting way where for the past 5 years, I've worked in corporate, I've worked in fashion, I've worked in online marketing, I have worked...
A bunch of stuff, yeah.
A bunch of different things. And some of it I felt like, oh my goodness, Danielle, what are you doing? And other things were just a paycheck. Some things were I was really passionate about, whatever. And then looking back, I would kind of be like, okay, but see, that job that I had was really stupid, or that thing that I tried was really stupid. But at the end of the day, I tried them and then realized maybe after 6 months to a year, okay, maybe this isn't for me. I worked in corporate for 3 years and then at the end I was like, I don't know if this is for me. It's really cool and I'm really grateful for everything that I've learned, but I now want to move on to the next thing. And I am now in a space career-wise where literally every single one of the jobs that I've ever had is playing into, and it makes sense. So even though I'm not an expert at everything, I'm pretty average or pretty above average at most of these things because I already have that knowledge, which I think is pretty cool. Everything just plays into each other. And so that's why, yes, like you said, you don't have to become an expert at everything that you try, but at least just having a base, having some type of knowledge on the topic or the industry or whatever it may be will help you in the future, because no decision is made just based on one piece of information. There's so many factors playing into it. If we look at the trends that are going around social media and that have been going around social media for the past 6 months, a lot of it is people, a lot of influencers are now starting or have been starting series on, oh, they're going to change this aspect of their lives, or they're going to teach themselves this skill, or they're going to do this, and stick around for the journey type vibe. And I think it's been really cool because people have been growing out loud and people have started as beginners, publicly. Which firstly I think is great in the sense of just showing people that it is possible. It's not embarrassing. It's not as scary as you think it is. But secondly, it's really cool in the sense of people are keeping you accountable. If you just drop off the face of the planet after episode 3 and you keep posting other stuff, people are going to be like, okay, cool, but you said you were going to be you were going to get better at the skill in a time frame of 30 days. Why are you not working on the skill anymore? Or why are you not showing us? So I think there is so much power in that. And I think there's so much beauty in telling people about new things that you're trying, telling people about new, a new career path or a new way of expressing yourself creatively. And you know what's actually really cool? I think this plays into a lot of the topics that we've talked about, especially last week's topic, but it builds confidence in yourself to also say, you know what, I can try new things and I can succeed at them. And yes, I'm going to fail. Yes, I'm going to be bad at first, but I can get to a point where I am above average and I could be like, look at me go. You actually pushed through, you did the hard thing, you did the scary thing, and I can do that. I can do hard things. And so you build that confidence and trust in yourself as well, which is amazing. If
you just reframe the thinking around it, and you can separate the two concepts. So you're bad at paddle, for example. You're not bad, you're forgetting the paddle part. You're not bad, you're not a bad human, you're not useless at any sport or at every sport or whatever. It's just that experience was bad, right? But we tend to just highlight a few words in that sentence or the thought we have, and yep, that's it, that's the truth in that sentence, rather than taking the context, right? And I think that's why it's also important to set small goals in your beginning phases and celebrate every single goal.
Yeah.
Because it kind of brings in that positivity.
If you think about anything that you're really good at right now, right? Think about the first time that you did that. You know you were horrible. You didn't wake up one day and then you were an expert at this thing. But you didn't try it once and then you were better than anyone else you've ever met at this thing. We all had to go through those phases. It could be, if you think about, let's say you played a team sports in primary school or high school or whatever. The skill you had in grade 2 compared to the skill you had in grade 12, a complete different,
Skill level.
a complete different skill level, because you can't compare the two. That's 10 years of like developing that skill and getting better at that sport. It could be, if I think about the first day that I walked into corporate and the knowledge that I had and the perspective that I had compared to the last day that I left corporate, a completely different human. And yes, it's embarrassing to be someone new at work who doesn't know anything and to be the intern and to be the idiot. That only lasts for a while, especially if you are curious and if you're trying to like understand and learn and grow. So why do we try something once and then within a month we're like, oh, I'm really bad at that? Dude, it took you months to learn how to walk.
I wanted to say that exact example now. Because I think we get stuck with, this is super difficult and intimidating.
Yeah.
But before you know it, you're not in the beginning stages anymore.
Exactly.
And it's like with walking, right? Like you literally couldn't walk way back when you were born. Now, our best athletes in the world, when they were babies, they could also not walk. They also had to be beginners at it. I know that, and I was laughing at my example.
Such a great example, though.
But now they literally do that for a living. They're the best of the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you should actually see any challenge. So, for example, I want to start learning how to play piano.
Yeah.
Those first few lessons, the first few months probably are going to be absolutely horrible. Something like a whatever. I can be Mozart one day.
You could, 100%. No, it really plays into literally anything. It's like Laurie with plants and me with plants. Two different things, right? Laurie is a beginner at plants. I am not a beginner at plants. But I had to be a beginner at plants at some point in time. And I killed a lot of plants, okay, to get to the point where I am now. You just need to be brave. Try the thing. Stick it through. And like, you got this. You're going to be fine. And also, it's not embarrassing. If someone is shitting on you for trying something new and being bad at it, they are lame. You don't want that person in your life anyway.
They're probably upset because they can't try something new.
Exactly. They're probably just really sad human beings, okay? You're bad at something, I'm bad at something completely different. I'm like good at something and you're good at something completely different. We complement each other. It's okay. We don't all need to be good at the same thing. But being a beginner is not embarrassing. It's really exciting. And like I don't know about you guys, I love being a beginner because it means you're outside of your comfort zone. Like, yes, it's so scary, and yes, I feel so stupid most of the time when I'm a beginner at like something new, but it's so much fun. Something that's very important is to keep celebrating little micro pieces of growth, micro progress, whatever you want to call it. Right. You know what's a really good example of this, right? Which probably Laurie would only understand, okay? But we obviously used to be childhood best friends, and we would always go away together, and she would always join us, like my family, when we would go away. And we tried to learn how to ski, water ski, right?
Ski, yeah.
I think we literally spent about 4 or 5 weekends, maybe even more, where we still couldn't ski. Like, we still couldn't get up.
And her dad is so patient.
He's so patient.
So patient.
But still, like, it took about 5 or 6 times of us going away and trying this thing and still failing and failing and failing and failing. And now, looking back, like, we can both ski, obviously. We finally got it right and we never looked back. But, like, we can ski really well now, okay? It's literally like failure after failure after failure after failure, and then one day it hits and it
worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. It's like riding a bicycle, okay? You can be a beginner at so many new things, like so literally anything. And there's so much beauty in that, and there's so much excitement in that. And stop being scared to chase that thing. Celebrate the micro progress. Celebrate the 5% better than yesterday or 5 weeks ago. Celebrate the 30% better than 2 months ago. you're getting better at something. That is very impressive. That is really cool. That shows that you are committed, and it shows that you trust yourself, and it shows that you're trying to grow as a human. There's personal growth happening.
A few practical places where you can start, because I think it's also good to challenge yourself every single day in everything. So obviously career-wise, that's a massive shift.
Yes.
Very, very scary and can be super uncertain. But especially if it's been in your mind and heart for quite some time, and like, you know, it's something's like itching, you need to, or we would encourage you, I'm not saying what you have to do, we would encourage you to take that step, and don't be scared if the beginner phase is holding you back from doing it. Don't let that be your reason why.
Yeah.
Like, don't. It can be learning a new language. Download Duolingo. It can be playing a sport. If you had played hockey at school, go to a club, be a beginner again, even if you haven't played for years.
Or even just try a new sport. Try running, try tennis, try whatever. Even just going to the gym.
Going to the gym, trying a new fitness class.
I hated being a beginner in the gym, and it took a while to get used to it, but now I love it. I love it so much. So like, it's really shit being a beginner,
but worth it.
But it's so worth it at the end for the value that it adds in your life. It could be cooking. It could be
cooking is a good one.
Reading. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Going to social things like a book club or running club or something to meet new people.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's quite challenging sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's so many opportunity, and honestly, it's not as scary as people make it to be. It's okay. You're allowed to.
Take this as your sign to try something new, to be a beginner at something, and just have fun with it.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope you have a lovely week, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.